Hello Age of Wonderites, welcome to the Draconian edition of this How to Play, where we're showing off all the Draconian units. Starting off with the ranged Draconian Flamer that costs 70 gold to recruit, and 4 upkeep, just like all other tier 1s. And he starts off with 34 health, 28 movement points, 7 defense and 8 resistance is what the guy looks like. Draconians have received a lot of hate for Age of Wonders 3, mainly from the fans of the old games, because they now look so radically different. But I actually like them. The only one I don't like is the Draconian Crusher, because in the previous games the Crusher was like this huge monster. But again, things can change with mods to the game. The Crusher and the Goblin Bomber, 2 units I plan on trying to make. So on Elite Medal or Gold Medal, they gain Inflict Scorching Heat, and it has a 7 or 9 potency, and if applied to the enemy you're talking about -3 physical damage for 3 turns. Per action point they will deal 5 physical and 2 fire damage. They also have a very nice ranged attack, so you can only use it once. It takes up all your remaining action points for a single attack, but it deals 4 physical and 9 fire damage in 1 hex radius. So if you imagine this is a hex, it's going to affect here, 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 everything around that central hex. All the hexes around that one will get attacked. And because it's not just fire damage, which has a fair amount of immunities against it, the physical damage too means you deal a lot of damage against the unit no matter what type of resistance it mainly has. Very nice. They do have lava walking, which is always good, and all Draconians have fast healing, which is +6 health per turn, which is very good, especially for your Hatchling to keep him leveling up. And also they do have 100% fire protection and 20% frost weakness. It's inherent from all Draconians. This is the Crusher. You can see now Draconians only have a natural base of 20 fire immunity. They do cost 50 gold to gain the same gold upkeep, 42 health, 28 movement points, 9 defense and 8 resistance, and on the veteran level they gain fire protection, which is some extra fire protection against damage from fire. And on elite they gain more fire protection and tireless. Tireless units don't spend any action points when for attacks of opportunity and defending and things. It means they can defend as many times as they want. Otherwise, you can only defend 3 times, once per action point. So they deal 13 physical damage per action point. They also have Overwhelm, so that increases by 3 when attacking pikemen or shielded units, whether it's from the front or the back. They also have some projectile resistance, so that goes up by another 2 when for archers and things like that. All infantry inherently gain wall climbing, and then the rest are the Draconian buffs. Here's the Hatchling. At the cost of 45, he's your irregular unit. 32 health, 28 resistance, 9 defense and 8 resistance. Let's see. He doesn't have any abilities in here anymore. He used to gain like a bunch of stuff on elite, but then as soon as he evolved, like it was all lost anyway. So these are what the Hatchlings look like. This is one of the few units that I think looks 100% better in Age of Wonders 3 than it did in the previous games. Most things actually do look better, but for the Draconians it's a very mixed bag, but these guys look way better. So creepy. And here's the description. Quite delicious on toast. That's so mean. Oh, no wonder they hate you all. Okay, so there's the description. They do spit fire at you, dealing 11 fire damage, and it costs all your action points to use this ability. All your remaining action points anyway. They deal 7 physical and 1 fire damage in melee combat per action point. Now they have this nice ability called Evolve, and basically when this unit evolves, it can evolve into any of your tier 1s, so it's your Flamer, Crusher, Charger, but also your tier 2 Elder, which is very, very nice. And again, all the Draconian abilities. They do have a wee bit of extra fire protection though, help keep them alive for that much longer. Here is your pikeman unit. Very nice. Huge spears. Very tiny wings. And here's their description. Our horsemen circled the village, eager to steal riches from the Draconian outcasts. Draconians get the real raw end of the deal. So 50 gold, 4 upkeep, 42 health, 28 movement points, 9 defense and 8 resistance. And gain fire protection on bronze or veteran metal, and armor piercing, and more fire protection on gold metal. Armor piercing just negates the armored trait, gives you an extra 2 damage against units that are armored. 12 physical damage per melee attack in melee combat. They gain the charge ability, so as long as the charger has moved something 4 hexes or more before they attack, then the first strike will deal 6 extra physical damage. All pikemen inherently gain first strike and polearm. First strike means when defending, the charger will attack first, and polearm increases the base damage by 5 when attacking mounted or flying units, and again all the Draconian unit stats. Now we're on to tier 2, so 90 gold and 8 upkeep, 54 health, 36 movement points, 11 defense and 9 resistance. Fire protection on veteran, and the new thing here is bleeding wounds. Bleeding wounds has a 9 potency, and if it is applied to the enemy, they will take -4 physical damage per turn for 2 turns. That's what these guys look like. These guys look pretty nice. The fact they're on top of dinosaurs, that's cool. Okay. Here's the description. Showing these off in all these videos in case anyone's really interested. Just by tomorrow you'll have the game. So 54 health, 36 movement points, 11 defense. I think I just went through these. Okay, 13 damage per melee strike. Let's see, charge. So charge is I think we had that in the Crusher, did we? Yes, I think I just went through that. Good. So again, all the typical Draconian buffs. Here are the elders. These guys look pretty nice, and they've got very different staffs compared to all the other support units. I really love their I think they've got the best face of all the Draconian, of all the support units anyway. And the description. Enforcer's log, Brenton Silverstar, lawman. Okay, 40 health, 28 movement points. Did I just go through these? I didn't, no. 40 health, 28 movement points, 9 defense, 11 resistance. They also gain Steel Enchantment on veteran. Steel Enchantment is you'll steal all buffs or debuffs off the target and apply them to yourself. Inflict Immolation. Basically the unit takes a couple of something like 3 fire damage for 3 turns. That person also has -2 defense and resistance. They fire firebolts, which deal 8 damage per action point. They're also arcing, so they'll shoot up and over obstacles. 5 physical and 4 fire damage per action point. Very nice ability, but one of the very few support units that does not heal. But it does give the unit very high morale, and high morale is the highest chance of critical hit of 25%. But it also gives them 40% fire protection and fire strike. But it only affects Draconians, so you can't give it to a dwarf in your army. But fire strike is worth it alone because you're then dealing extra fire damage and you have that extra chance to crit, which is always really good. So more lava walking, and all support units inherently gain true sight. So anything that's invisible or hiding in the bushes or something like that, you'll be able to see them because you've got true sight. Do note that these guys cost 20 mana, and you will need that mana, otherwise he'll just be paused sitting in your build queue. These guys look so creepy. So creepy. Here's the description. It was a joke among the men that Draconians had no cavalry left because the animals that might have served as mounts served as dinner instead. Huh. Fair enough. Except they do have raptors as mounts, so they are wrong. 64 health. They are tier 3, so they do have an increased tier 3 cost. But yeah, 30 movement points, 12 defense, 11 resistance. Fire protection, bleeding wounds, fire protection. Tireless, I think, is the only new thing here. Tireless means you don't spend any action points to counter attack or for attacks of retaliation, of opportunity rather. 16 physical damage per attack, triggers up to 3 times, so once per action point. Overwhelm, so plus 3 damage on pikemen and shielded units, so 19 damage. You also have charge. All infantry inherently gain wall climbing, but they can fly, so they'll just fly over walls instead. And flying is a real sort of key to these guys. Basically, you go into the air, you land directly behind an enemy unit to do some flanking damage, which is fantastic. Especially if you're a rogue and you're trying to get them to backstab or whatever. So that is the that's the final guide done on our races. So I'm going to convert these all now, upload them to YouTube, and then we'll continue the How to Play series, guys. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and have fun playing Age of Wonders that is released tomorrow. Yeah, see you guys in the next video.